how we're rolling it tonight. I have some ideas that I might spool around on Saturday with some people while we're hanging out. But yeah, I'm sure it'll get rolling. Pipeline, not quite hearing you. But I don't know if he's power, you know, I mean, I have 10 for 10.
10-5, have a check-in, me and truck 3. And I will see you, me and Mike in... That's right, no doubt about it. Early afternoon.
Alrighty, man, sounds like a hell of a plan. I like it. Mr. Pipeline, Mr. Pipeline. So Mr. 2020 was checking in. You can't quite pull him out, I guess, but 2020 from New Hampshire and 333 from New Hampshire. Oh, I might have to turn my amp on, but 2020 is checking in and 333.
Some guy that sounds like Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, did Bugs Bunny actually talk? I don't even know, Greg.
What's up, Doc?
Oh, yeah, never mind, he did. Fuck me, I'm out of it.
It'll work.
Is that when you like that the best? Yes. It's been a long day.
It'll work. How was work?
That was good. Let's see. I drove down to Bedford. I was there for about 3 hours. We had issues up in the Oakland plant, so I put on 40 miles from here to Bedford. Then I from Bedford did about 100 miles to go up to Oakland to that plant. Then I put 100 miles back on going back down to Bedford. And then I put on another 40 miles coming home. So yeah, it was a good day.
Well, you get paid for this, right?
Oh, I'm fucking salary, so I guess I'm getting paid to sit down right now. But yes, I definitely got paid for it.
Sounds like you did more driving than you did anything else.
And yeah, there was a good day. I was okay with that.
There's nothing wrong with days like that.
Looking for any more check-ins. Any more check-ins? Keep riling them up, Pipeline. Keep them entertained. Keep them coming.
Roger, we're trying.
Still early, you know. I know we try to say early check-ins, but I know there's still a lot of people that don't get on till closer towards 8. Usually, I'm not on too early, so I get it.
Oh, 10-4.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
What is happening?
Oh, just got home a few minutes ago.
Good job. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're sounding really loud and proud.
Just wait. Catch you on the flip, Mike.
Wow, Mr. Fix-It, did you fix it? Nope, not yet. You must have done something, because you sound right on channel this week. That's the first.
Oh, I went back to starting the whole lineup again.
Roger, well that one's a good
Test,
sidebander.
test, 1 2 1 2, test.
Yeah, he's on what he knows actually works.
Give him an hour. Yeah, give him an hour. That thing will shit the bed on him.
You think an hour? Holy crap, maybe.
Maybe more, maybe less, but it'll probably shit the bed on him before the end of the night.
Oh, don't be mean.
It's a Ranger. It'll go forever, won't it? Fix it.
Timber.
Fuck me.
They all pick on Range radios. The Range made Galaxy, so what the hell's the difference?
Pick a frequency. Any frequency.
There's a big old difference.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Berger.
Fix it is in Oxford.
Audio.
Holy but Jesus.
What's the matter?
Audio. Oh, way too much my game.
I got nothing to matter. Everything's good.
What happened? Gee, Cyclops there. I'd call him Ratchet Jaw.
This way too much my game. Probably.
Oh, you sound fine over here.
Oh, really? Huh.
Oh, if you're hearing me, Pipeline, I think you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, Screwdriver's mud ducking. If you're hearing him, you're doing real good.
I can tell you this, turning down your RF gain usually will do you no good. But yeah, I'm just on the stock Kenwood right now, swinging up to whatever, 70 watts or some shit. So I haven't gone to turn the power supply on for the amp yet. Once I sat down, I got real lazy, real quick.
Must have been all that hard work driving around he was doing.
It was, man. I'll tell you, it gets tiring after a while.
Well, did you shoot any skip on the CB?
No, I talked to Fix It. That was about it. I didn't hear much for Skip, and I don't know. With that 70 thrown on the seat, I don't know. The receive is not, the receive ain't the greatest anyway, but I can't hear the speaker good. It's a tiny little speaker. I need to dig out an external speaker or something if I'm going to keep that in there for now.
Just fucking flip it upside down.
I've done that before, and then it's fucking, it's not a huge deal, but then the buttons end up hitting the edge of my seat, and it fucking changes the channel on me, and I don't know, and I'm not on the same channel, and, it's always fucking something. I should just mount the damn thing or put in my other radio, but this was just a very temporary setup. I got coax hanging down from the middle of my ceiling. Done as hard, and I screwed in a jumper, and I got like a 3-foot jumper just going straight down from where my dome light is to my passenger seat, plugged into the radio.
They don't provide a vehicle for you to do all that traveling with?
They do have company vehicles. I've fucking only been there 4 days, so, I'm sure they haven't run my license or anything yet, and I could have, but I knew it was right on the borderline, depending on how long it took me to go up there and what I had to do, of whether I wanted to go back to work after or not.
Roger. No, it just seems like I don't know. I wouldn't drive my vehicle 300 fucking miles a day for work. They could kiss my fucking ass.
All part of being management, I guess. Another couple weeks, I gotta drive down to New York to the other plant, so it happens. Go ahead, break. Oh, I got a screwdriver over here.
Oh, that's for on the screwdriver. He's got TK 1973 up in China.
1973 TJ in China?
TJ, son to kid in China.
Roger. Well, nice to hear you. I haven't heard you out here before, but definitely good hearing you. I'm over here in New Gloucester.
Oh, that's for on the New Gloucester.
Early check-in. You noticed your pipeline filling in for Boyd tonight there, and welcome to the Maine Sidebanders on this Thursday the 12th. And just so you know, that means tomorrow is the 13th of a Friday of a month that is, well, no, not Halloween, but yeah, something.
How about your pipeline? How about a pipeline? You got a copy? That pipeline can't hear me.
No, I guess you're right out of his receiver. I was gonna.
Copy that there, Cyclops.
Where's pipeline? I gotta do the same over here. I got a wicked shitty receive.
Yeah, I know, because you've already stepped on like 8 people so far tonight in the 15 minutes. Pipeline is over in Rumford.
Oh, that's on the Rumford.
Oh, 10-4.
Right in between 2 ledges, you know. He's nestled right in a hole.
Nice and cozy in the
This
hole.
is the FCC. This is the FCC. You are transmitting on illegal frequencies. We are currently in the talk. We will find your signal and take your equipment.
That's fine. I'm over in New Gloucester, right on 100. You can't miss me. Come on over right now. I got a present for you.
Yeah, so you better bring a big fucking truck.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's talking to a local.
I hear you, Frosty.
Rough and let you out of work early enough to come talk on your radio for a night?
Well, not for a night. Maybe a minute. I ain't been on this thing so long. It's dusted. Now it's cooking.
Oh, don't you love that smell of the dust burning off?
It depends. Within the first 5 minutes, it makes me nervous.
See, the smell of the dust burning off don't make me as nervous as you can tell if there's mouse poop on it. Then you're like, me. That's a totally different smell. If there's some mouse poop and piss on there, no bueno. I'm throwing the radio in the trash.
Yes, it definitely smells like something out of the basement 20 years ago.
Running good.
All right. I think it's almost, I don't know what time it is, but it's got to be getting close to that time. 3 minutes. Oh, 3 minutes. I'm waiting until we can hear from the, not Jim. Does that make sense? Yeah, not Jim. Hopefully soon enough, maybe. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we'll hear him up here, but, you know, Hawkeye misses the Greg and Jim talks when he gets out of work. He's like, man, it was always nice to hear them on 815. Of course.
Roger beep to this?
Nope.
Hey, before I get started, how about that 1973 there, TK up in China? You got a copy on radio, man?
Go ahead, radio man, go ahead.
All right, just wanted to wave a hand at you before I got started. We were talking earlier today. Got a copy on you over here in New Gloucester.
How about now?
Hey, you fuckstick. I'm talking to somebody.
What exactly is a fuckstick?
It's Taz going, how about now? And I'm trying to talk to somebody over in China.
I tune in Tokyo. I got a quick question. What was he giving you, radio man, for a signal? I'm just kind of curious of how far off my radio is.
TK, try keying up again. I wasn't looking at the S meter. Hello, TK, key up again. Well, TK, I wasn't calling you the fuck stick, so I don't know. He's gone, Screwdriver.
You stick fuck.
Roger. I was just curious. This Kenwood, it's almost like the attenuator is stuck on. Like the button don't work, and it doesn't do anything. And I don't think the notch button does either. But, and like, Pipeline gives me no signal, and that guy was giving me no signal. I can hear them perfectly fine, but it's almost like it's stuck in attenuator mode, even though it doesn't say it is. What model is it? It's an old 430. Well, that explains everything.
All right. You guys ready to get started here?
Never made, right beside the 440. Okay, the man has spoken. We have to be quiet now. Yeah, I pulled it out of a pile for someone to try just to listen to and listen to other bands and stuff. And I was like, it works, but, the processor's really dirty and scratchy. And, it probably, it's old. It needs it could use a little loving, I guess.
All right, we're going to get started here at Maine Sidebanders. Thanks, Pipeline, for helping out. Appreciate that. And before I get started, I just want to remind everybody real quick, in case you didn't know, this weekend, the 14th, we're having a get-together over at Screwdriver's Place. All the information's on Facebook, but if you're not there, 479 Lewiston Road, New Gloucester. It's right on Route 100. Big motorcycle on the pole. You can't miss it. Barbecue, there'll be burgers and drinks, hot dogs provided. Bring a chair, bring a tent if you want to camp out. There's a field if you want to camp and bring a camper, bring tables. Tailgating is welcome and encouraged. Or, if you guys want to trade equipment, there'll be cornhole, there's a pool table. Everyone's invited. All are welcome if you want to bring spouses. And just, no drama. Like Screwdriver said, if you want to smoke, you just got to smoke outside. And, you want to bring some beers, bring your beers. So anyways, hope to see you all there this Saturday. And the weather's supposed to be great. So they're not predicting any rain, but there is inside facilities. And there's a bathroom there in case anyone's wondering. But there is inside facilities if we get rained out. But it's looking like we're not going to get rained out. So just wanted to put that out there real quick before we get started. All right, we're going to do something a little different today. Maine Sidebanders, Cumberland County.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, Greg in Portland. Greg, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, just lovely.
I love it. All right, who else we got for Maine Sidebanders in Portland? Cumberland County, I'm sorry.
All right, it's in this county.
All right, we got you, Screwdriver. Welcome. Who else we got for Cumberland County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, how about Androscoggin County? Who else we got for Androscoggin County?
Skywalker in Lisbon.
Hey, welcome, Skywalker in Lisbon. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Radio Man.
Who else we got for Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, well, we will move on. All right, Cobra, we got you from Wales. Get off the toilet and get on the radio. All right, who else? How about Saginaw County? Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders.
Clearwater, Topsom.
Oh, hey, Clearwater in Topsom. What's going on, Clearwater? Sounding good.
Good. Thank you very much.
How about it? Saginaw County. Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders.
You got Ron checking on Bowden.
Oh, hey, Runt. Glad to hear you. I haven't been hearing you in the morning. So, good to hear you, Runt.
Steel toe, Bodenham waving.
There you go. Steel Toe and Bodenham. Doing good. Good signal over here from the old, not Bowden, Bodenham.
Yes, sir, Bodenham.
Copy that. Who else we got for Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, how about Kennebec County? Kennebec County.
Yeah, go ahead for Kennebec County. TK, Thunder Kid, 1973, come on.
Copy that. TK Thunder Kid from China. Copy that. Kennebec County. And Screwdriver, to answer your question, I'm reading an S2 on the Striker, S2 on Thunder Kid. Good signal on him. You can hear him plenty fine. All right, who else we got? Kennebec County for Maine Sidebanders.
I think I'm the only one.
There you go. Well, I hope you're making note of who you're hearing. If you're still around after we get through, I'm sure people have questions from you. I think you're in a mobile. You said you were going to hit some high ground, but I'm gonna jump over. How about Franklin County? Franklin County.
265, Sting out here in North J.
Hey, Sting, 265 in North J. Yeah, you got a good loud signal over here, Sting.
Roger that.
I guess this IMAX on the tower is doing pretty good. Who else we got for Franklin County? All right, how about Lincoln County? Lincoln County for Maine Sidebanders.
Got Mike Litt in Booth Bay.
Copy that on Mike Clitt. Mike Clitt in Booth Bay. Sounding good there from Booth Bay there, Mike Clitt.
No, it's Mike Litt, L-I-T, Mike Litt.
Oh, sorry, Mike Litt. Mike Litt, apologies for that.
We know it's on your mind.
That was funny.
All right, we're going to roll over. How about York County? We're going to roll over to the south here. How about York County for Maine Sidebanders? All right, nothing heard on that. How about Oxford County? Oxford County for Maine Sidebanders.
333 up here in the state of Maine.
All right, copy that. Fix it. There, 333. Anyone else for Oxford County? Oxford County. Okay. What about state of New Hampshire? Any of you guys down in the state of New Hampshire for Maine Sidebanders?
Hey, radio man, we already got checked in 2020 and 333 was out here, but he had to get off the radio. He early work this morning. I haven't heard anybody else.
Okay, copy that. Appreciate if there was any relay Cyclops. And yeah, I'll get the list here from Pipeline in a little bit of who he picked up too. So with that said, I pretty much got everybody. Anyone else, anywhere, any location, if you got missed or what for Maine Sidebanders? Anyone, anywhere?
Double D, Port 5.
I hollered, but you didn't confirm it.
Okay, I got Double D in Port Clyde. We're copying you good there, Double D. Sorry about that. Maniac over in Wyndham. I missed you, Maniac. Apologies. And I know Tasman's in there. I guess he only keys up when other people are talking, but we'll put down Tasman over in Pownell as well. So I got Double D in Port Clyde. I got Maniac in Wyndham. I got Tasman in Pownell. Is there anyone else for Maine Sidebanders? Any location, anywhere?
You got Swiper here in Auburn.
Hey, Swiper in Auburn. How you doing? Good to hear from you, Swiper.
Ginger Swipe checking in.
Oh, man, Ginger Swipe checking in. All right. You tell Swiper make sure the golf cart's got a full tank of gas when he brings it back on Saturday. All right. Anyone else, anywhere, Maine Sidebanders, anybody anywhere wants to get in on, and we'll wrap it up here in a minute. Of course, we'll take check-ins the rest of the evening, but I just want to get anyone else that's on the side listening.
You got the Ranger Man up here in Belfast.
Okay, I heard the Ranger Man. I assume that's John in Belfast. And I got 029 Floyd up in Mercer. Just to confirm, Ranger Man, is that John in Belfast?
Yes, it is, Radio Man.
Okay, yeah, hearing you good tonight, John. Appreciate it. And Floyd, we got you as well over in Mercer. Anyone else for Maine Sidebanders? All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. I do have a question for TK before, well, we're all done. Well, anyone can check in anytime, but TK, whereabouts are you? Up on high ground in a mobile? Is that what you're doing right now? Are you still in there, TK?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm on high ground in China.
Okay, copy that. Anyone else want to jump in there that's here in TK? Well, there you go. All right. Screwdriver had something he wanted to mention. I don't know if he wants to bring that up or whatever, but anyways, like I said, hope to see you guys this weekend. I will be there. Sounds like people are bringing things to sell, which ought to be fun, and we're gonna have some good weather. So, and thanks for Pipeline for helping out earlier. So, anyways, I'll sit back and let some other people get yakking here.
Yeah, the wife wants to know if you're going to be doing any table dances.
My shoes are in the shop right now. My dancing shoes are in the shop. Yep.
Heck yeah, shake that booty. Right back at you, Stick. How about the gentleman up at Fort Clyde?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen. Am I making it down there to Fort Clyde? Come on.
Well, if Rascal will let you, I can hear you.
Rascal, be quiet. I just wanted you to get it straight. He's not a gentleman. Genital man, maybe, but not a yeah. Yeah, anywho, I just wanted to see if I could make the trip.
You might want to make that genitals. I'm not missing a nut yet.
Answer that guy out there in China, will you? Tell him nothing could be finer than hearing him from China.
I can hear you from China. Go ahead.
Yeah, 10-4, not bad for a barefoot radio.
Well, mine's barefoot too, but it is an ICOM, and I do have an antenna way up in the tree.
Yeah, I just got an Eddie Gold Quad 5 with a Wilson 5000.
Well, that's all you need. You're making the trip down here.
I just want to point out, whenever Rascal makes a funny, he has his own laugh track. Do you hear the laughing in the background?
That's what this needs.
That sucks. I thought they were laughing at it, though. The red squirrel out here has been right. It scratched the shit out of my bag covers. Now I gotta find one.
What happened? The squirrel scratched your bag?
Yeah, he rubs his bag everywhere he goes. Now he's gotta, you know.
Yeah, I have a set of hard bags I hang off the back end of my 04 Fat Boy.
Probably going after the nuts.
The girl out here spent more time on the bike this summer than I have, and scratched the shit out of my covers.
Sounds like he needs one of them support devices.
Sounds like you need a pellet gun.
I have.
That's not very nice.
If I hit the bike shooting the squirrel, I'm gonna ruin the bike. They're pretty potent. They're PCP. They work off high pressured air. I'm talking 3,000 psi. One of them.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. PCP, holy crap! I haven't had that since the '70s.
All these diamonds kind of pissed me off, but again, it gives me an excuse to put some speaker covers on top.
That explains a lot. Yeah, it really does. You know, it was the good old days back with the PCP.
I knew that was gonna happen. I was sitting over here like, what? PCP? What the fuck is he talking about?
Oh, the only type of PCP I know is probably has nothing to do with a BB gun.
You gotta be really fucking old to know what that shit's about.
Yeah, I want to point out something. Screwdriver says, I haven't done that since the 70s. I think we're about the same age. We didn't see much of the 70s, Screwdriver.
I really haven't seen much of PCP either, but, you know, it just sounded good in conversation.
Well, when you said it, I went, wait a second.
PCP kind of faded out, but, you know.
I think he was pretty much gone by the 80s.
Yeah. It does, it seems like something I remember from, like, movies and, you know, reruns of, like, maybe Cops or something, but, you know, like, PCP faded out, coke and heroin were in, crack, and then meth, you know? I mean, that's kind of like my timeline.
Don't forget shrooms and acid.
Don't forget the mushrooms and the acid.
Some Quaaludes, yes, Quaaludes were around for the 80s until you couldn't get them anymore, for sure. Yeah, I mean, shrooms you can still get. Shrooms are all over the place. Acid? I don't know.
Nikolai, a band, maybe. If you got down on 26895, lower sideband, give it a shot.
Christ, unless your mom gave them to you, I don't know.
Yeah, they were going with the 80s. I remember seeing them, though, like a giant fucking horse.
You can get the shitty ones, and they weren't as good. But you know, hell, just watch Wolf.
Trying to tax my new video card tonight, so I'm running two cameras, one behind me and one off to the side. Wondering how you guys are picking up the feed tonight.
Oh no, he just sent me the friggin' ad for it. It really is called a PCP rifle. That's funny.
Well, I mean, they say that with the Ambien too. You stay awake long enough, and yeah, no, that was from Big Brothers or something. That was a funny ass movie too.
PCP, pre-charged pneumatic, is what it stands for. Not the about loud track back in the day.
So, where are you getting this filled up? You obviously are bringing it somewhere, or you're charging it up. Yeah, this if you're going with 3,000 psi, that's impressive. I know about it because I don't own anymore, but I had a 4,500 psi 5-stage compressor because paintball you would fill up big, carbon fiber tanks to 4,500 psi, but it's very uncommon.
I was gonna say, what the fuck are you filling up? Oxygen tank?
Their 4,500 psi is pretty much a standard air compressor for a PCP air rifle. The one I have is a Flash Quest, they call it, made by Hatsan. It's actually 200 bar or 2,900 PSI, and it shoots a 22 caliber pellet downrange like the 22 rimfire.
Yeah, I'm just curious of where you actually get the air for it. There's not a whole lot of 3,000 psi, and 3,000 psi was actually common for years for that stuff too. But there's just not a lot of common 3,000 psi compressors around. The only place you're going to find them is places that fill scuba tanks.
What is a scuba tank at? Is it 3,000?
Yeah, it's just like a wellness tank, your oxygen bottle on that. That thing holds like 3,500, 4,000 psi.
300 grain, 357 rounds. He's got a 30 caliber. He goes up to Johnson's Sporting Goods, gets his scuba tank filled, and he uses that to fill the air rifle. Purchase on Amazon all day long and other places, Pyramid Air, these other outfits. You can purchase the compressors with manual shut-offs or auto shut-offs. They're anywhere from $170 to $700-800, depending on the quality. Mine actually came with a hand pump. Takes a little bit of effort, but it pumps it up.
A fucking hand pump? Holy fuck. Yeah, no, my compressor was huge, you know, I mean, it was an Ingersoll Rand. The thing cost, I think when I bought it at the time, it was about $8,000. You know, it was meant for, you know, filling scuba tanks and all of that shit. You know, and I bought it for paintball. I was big into it. I was partial ownership in a paintball field and a paintball team. So, yeah, I was just curious of where you actually get them filled up, because it's just not... It actually was getting to be common, but then it kind of phased out and everybody's using airsoft, which is just taking like fucking CO2 cartridges and shit. You know, before there was high pressure air, everybody's using CO2, and you'd go down to Maine Oxy, you'd get your tanks filled up with CO2, but those are like 800 PSI, if I remember right, at the regulator.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on them.
Oh, hey, Stevie. Thanks for stopping by over in Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Oh. A paintball maxes, but I thought it was between 3,000 and 5,000.
Yeah, we need to get some better receive out here because people are just stepping over each other. But yeah, you're right, Swiper. Scuba tanks are filled to 3,000 to 4,500, give or take. That is common, and like I said, it's common. You know, you could get your scuba tanks filled and filled off your other tanks with it and stuff. And I'm just going from paintball. That's all I ever used it for. I've never seen an actual like rifle that has that. You know, I'm kind of intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, like I said, go online, look up Pyramid Air to start. You'll find other sites. And go to
Like a single action.
Fuck me.
Pellet gun. If you work that thing on it, if you put enough oil in it, you can get that thing to fucking diesel, and it builds some massive pressure.
They're expensive for a hobby, so you may as well do a little deer hunt, squirrel hunt, whatever you're gonna do with them. They're pretty badass.
I must have been walking on somebody.
Who is that way down in there, Floyd? Roger.
really gotta ditch this fucking Amtron. I'm not liking it. Hey guys, we're gonna kick it off. Wave to the guys up in New Hampshire and Screwdriver. I'll see you a couple days.
Roger, Roger. Have a super fine one, and we will see everybody on Saturday.
Talk to you all then. Later.
So I heard someone say the IMAX is working. I like it.
The Amtron sucks shit.
The Antron on the tower is receiving very well.
Amtron or IMAX?
Same fucking thing. Well, not really, but whatever. If you can jack it up high enough in the air, it really don't matter. Ooh, I don't know. Radio Man kind of, he debunked that.
You should test the regular Amtron. Same place, same height, and see if there's any difference in that.
2 dB. I've done it.
I concur.
But Radio Man did climb to the top of his tower, give or take, so we're going to say 50 feet up with his walkie-talkie in his hand and keyed up. And, there's obviously other circumstances. He's, hugging the tower for life. I think his penis got caught in one of the rungs. Whatever. I'm not judging. But his signal actually went down on top of the tower from where he was on the ground.
Yeah, I think the radio being between me and the tower probably had a lot to do with it.
Oh man, we should have got a picture though. You should have had yelled at your wife or something. I wouldn't turn the amp on. To grab a picture of you up on the tower, leaning back a little bit to try to talk. I'm like, that's just some funny shit.
Well, I do have like a ladder belt that, like when I'm working, I have my fall arrestor, but then I have another belt that I put around the tower so you can sit back on your harness and sit a little bit.
Yeah, that's all I'll use is just a regular belt. I can't stand wearing a big harness to climb it. I'm like, if I'm strapped in on my back, I'm like, no, fucking, I don't even bother. But, I use a regular belt, and I can lean back. I'll lean back with a 4-element. I'll lean back and be adjusting the, Moonraker 4, I can lean back far enough and adjust the cameras while hanging off the tower.
You poop a little.
When you poop a little, though, this I did once, Swiper, and it made me poop a lot. I turned around the other way, and I had the belt on, so I could lean off the tower, so I could reach further. I wasn't leaning behind me and looking up at the air. I was leaning out, and my heels were in the tower, and and I kind of looked down, and now your body is laying, not perpendicular. I wasn't that nuts, but that made me poop.
I know, when I had that stage in Centerfold, that pipe stage in here, I was working on that 5-element, had the step ladder on top of that, the wind blew real hard, a lot of poop came out.
I know when I had to go up and on Champ's Tower, I climbed up that thing to replace his rotor and do something with the antenna. So I had to pull the rotor out. I had to lower the antenna down into the tower. And being on the top of that tower, you know, that far above Sabata Street, yeah, and you know, shit moves a little bit, and it had some give to it. I didn't necessarily love it.
Are you guys actually talking about pooping your pants?
Well, I mean, I didn't actually poop my pants, but I pooped my pants.
Bullshit.
You should probably poop before you go up the tower.
Then you're fucking like pushing the limits of the tower, or you're up on 80 feet of staging and the staging moves with some wind. Yeah, no, it sucks.
I have a full body harness. And I tell you one thing, when you put that thing on, you got to make sure all your furniture is oriented to the center of the room, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, but it makes your fucking junk look so big and massive if you have it on right. I used to just walk around the plant with my fucking harness on, like, look at me. Yeah, you see that.
A little pelvic thrust action.
I know, isn't it boy crazy how you can make something so small look so big?
I know, right? But yeah, and yeah, you gotta like hike your pants up so you get the fucking leg pieces like cinched in, because you don't want to fall if that fucking thing's loose. Trust me.
Tape around your ankles to hold the poop in your pants too. 'Cause a lot of poop's gonna come out.
Yeah, some tape, some rubber bands, whatever you got to do. I like to wear like Ziploc bags or over my socks, and I actually tape around those too. That way my feet don't actually get poopy.
Like, how high up do we have to be, like, before we start thinking about putting this fucking thing on?
That's all up to your testicle size.
I have to say, I'd probably free climb to at least 35 feet.
I'll free climb up to 70. That don't bother me. Depends on what I got to do for work up there. That's the only reason I wear a belt. Is just it depends on what I'm going to do for work when I get up there.
I don't agree with that. I've been in a situation where I'd be like, man, if I just had something that I could clip to this fucking whatever it was, so I could fucking lean back and be able to stand there and do what I needed to do would be great. Instead of trying to hold on with fucking one hand or arm around, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, all the time. You wrap one leg around it. You got one arm like through the tower, and you're trying to wire up your rotor, and you're doing it with like one free arm and your hand, but your hand has to go through the tower and try to curl back around. And I've done some. Yeah, it can suck.
Yeah, like you're holding on with the inside of your fucking elbow, trying to bang your arm around shit.
Wearing proper gear for that definitely makes a big difference.
I haven't climbed
I didn't touch all my climbing gear. That was from
I've climbed a
climbing.
lot of fucking trees.
Yeah, like your tower swiper, when I climb that to do the rotor, like that's different. You know, like it's obviously pretty high to begin with, but you also like you're looking out over the city, so it depends. You know what I mean? Like if you just glance out, it's just a really cool sight. But if you look down, you're looking like down the road, 3 blocks, and fucking that puts you up like another 150 feet higher. And then you're like, oh fuck.
Affiliate depends.
Exactly.
See, that shit doesn't bother me because every time I've a lot of times I've worked that high by myself, but I'm always looking down at the dude I got on the fucking ground.
It didn't bother me so much when I was half the weight I am now.
Yeah, I don't think I would even trust the tower me to climb that high anymore, truthfully. But I don't know if I really trust myself either. But I'll tell you what was way worse for me: the fucking tree at camp. That tree at camp made me fucking clench more than any tower I've ever been on. I hated that thing.
The only time that I was scared in that tree was when you were cutting the top off, because you sawing on it
was making that thing sway so much. I was, filling my shorts.
yeah, that was a little rough.
And I climbed this fucking maple tree on Brandy Brook Hill in fucking Gorham. Holy fuck, man. That was sketch.
Well, this was about 125 feet up to where we cut the tree off. You needed a 40-foot ladder, and you couldn't even reach the first branch. You had to get on top of the 40-foot rung in order to reach the first branch to get on the tree. But when you were up there was no wind on the ground. You get up there, and you're like, holy fuck, a little bit of wind, and that tree, 125 feet, it moves, and it's moving like 6 inches or more. And I'm like, I yelled down. The swiper was right below me. We were getting ready to park the top. I yelled down. I'm like, Firebird, is it fucking windy down there? And he said there was 0 breeze down there. But that little bit, that high up in the tree, no, fuck, that was a little,
When I look at my the IMAX, that's over the tops of the trees. That thing's always got a slight bend in it. There's always a breeze up there.
Yeah, exactly. You get up there, there's always some type of wind current. You might have 0 down here, and it might only be like 2-3 miles an hour, but yeah, shit moves.
I'm gonna say that's that way over there at Tasman's house. You might be standing in the drain. It's always fucking windy on the ground over there. And if it isn't windy on the ground, if you look up at that antenna, it's moving.
I love my IMAX, but one thing I do miss about the coily is seeing the bird sit up on the top of that little cross thing that there's on the top.
You had some bird watch?
I can bring it with me this weekend if you want to have visitation.
Does anybody know what a crackle is?
Hey, surprisingly enough, this Antron 99's working pretty decent considering the distance we're talking and how loud we are. I can't complain. I swear by the Vector 4000 a little bit more, but this one's working for me for now.
See, I personally am very disappointed in the Vector. I'm not a big fan of the antenna, just not me. And there's nothing wrong with an Antron. An Antron is a good, solid antenna. Yes, going up to an IMAX will get you about a 2 dB gain. But yeah, an Antron is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, fuck a big stick. 18 feet is 18 feet. And a big stick, there's nothing to sneeze at. It's still a good working antenna.
Copy that there, 207. Maybe we'll see you this weekend at the meetup, hopefully.
And I enjoyed that because I even received a lot better. I transmitted better. But this was my option at this moment for right now. But I got it cheap enough that I can run this, and it's working. So I guess that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you gained 1.5 dB over what with the Vector? Over what antenna were you kind of comparing it to?
This Antron right here that I'm running now. I had an Antron with the ground plane, the Antron 99, with the ground plane before I got the Vector 4000. And I was talking to the guys in Lewiston and Auburn, and I noticed when I changed over to the Vector 4000, I ended up getting a louder signal on them and gained about 1.5 dBs on their receive. So when they were talking, they said that they could hear me a lot louder too, and it picked up a bit better.
Yeah, see, for one, the ground plane kit is useless. They don't do anything, but we won't get into that. But you see, but that's my point right there. And you just kind of said what I was saying without saying it. You got a 1.5 dB over your Antron, which is great. But
everybody.
You'll get 2 dB over your Antron going to an IMAX, which says the IMAX has a 0.5 dB better over the Vector. That's just that actually follows suit 100% with the numbers that I got in all my experiments.
Yeah, I agree. The only reason I've never tried the IMAX. I've never actually purchased one. I only went from a used one. Another, and I seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, you would see zero difference by putting a ground plane kit on it. They don't need it. The ground plane kit does absolutely nothing.
Good to know. So it's a kind of kit at
Well, snake oil, it does literally zero. The whole point of a ground plane kit is, or a ground plane on an antenna, is you have an antenna that needs the ground plane to decouple it from the coax, blah, 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 and certain wavelengths and style of antennas, you need that. But an Antron is technically a half wave over a quarter wave. It has its counterpoise built into the bottom of the antenna. Same thing with the IMAX. So adding a ground plane kit to it does zero besides make it... Don't get me wrong, I actually love the looks of a ground plane kit on an Antron. I don't like the looks of it on an IMAX. But on an Antron, the ground plane kit actually does look very good.
Appearance-wise, like you said, they don't do any good, but appearance-wise, they do look better. I do like them, how they're long, how they got 4 of them on there with the ring. But yeah, no, I'm just glad that you guys are hearing me as loud as you are tonight and able to have no trouble reaching me. Also, I can hear you guys clear as day. I had a little trouble with Radio Man. He was only giving me about 1.5, maybe 2, and that was after he got going for a few minutes. But other than that, everybody else was coming in pretty well.
10-4 on Radio Man should have stopped over here.
Say something about those antennas there.
Let's hear it, Maniac.
Oh, like the IMAX and the Amtron, you talk about that counterpoise thing, that coily thing that's like it's in the bottom, it's kind of either just in or just out of that aluminum piece that you're pulling out. But the second piece, I watched a guy take one of them things all apart on fucking YouTube, and there's 2 of those fucking things in there. There's another one in the middle section.
Hey, Sting.
Yeah, good.
If you want to try before you buy, I got a ground plane kit. You can try it up on it. If you like it, you can buy one. If not, then don't buy one.
Well, I appreciate the offer. I had a ground plane kit on one of these Antron 99s like when I first got into this about 2.5 years ago. And I ended up with this one here without the ground plane for cheap money. Bone Crusher had this laying around. It was basically brand new, so I figured I'd snatch it up while I could, just so I could get back on the radio waves. And now I got the 69 base hooked to it, so it's direct. I've downsized in coax a little bit. I used to run the LMR 400. Now I'm running the RG8U coax, so...
Roger. 10-4. Well, I just thought I'd throw the offer out there in case you wanted to try, but since you already did it, you already know.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate it, but thank you there, sir. I really do appreciate it. And if I do upgrade the end, I'm not even sure what I'll do right off the bat. Right now, me and the family and a friend of mine from the Army, actually, we just reconnected, and he's moving up here. He's looking to buy 50 acres of land, and he wants me to kind of go in on it with him, and we can build a couple of homes on the land, and if we do, we're going to set up a couple of towers, get ourselves up going. But we might be way up north. We might be up near Springfield, so that's a very big possibility, but we're not guaranteeing it yet.
Yeah, Sting, I got you about S3 here on the IMAX. If I flip over to the quad, you go up to about S5.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm only getting about 1.5 on you up here. But,
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you're running for power. What are you running for power?
Power. Running a RCI 69 base with a 100-watt PEP swing, Silver Eagle microphone, and just the Antron 99 with no ground plane kit, just running barefoot.
Okay, yeah. I mean, let's see. Hello. Yeah, I'm running a little bit more power, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tested the IMAX. Oh, what the hell? I tested the IMAX and the coily, and I mean, if there's any difference, it's barely noticeable. I mean, maybe the coily was a smidgen quieter, but I wouldn't say there was a head and shoulders difference between the two antennas. They were pretty equal.
Do you think it might be down to location?
Well, I mean, the antenna definitely a lot quieter. What do you mean, like my location in reference with talking to Sting?
And it's on the roof of the house, and I got a high-pitched roof on the top of a two-story, and we're about 500 to 510 feet above sea level, right around there. So that might have something to do with it. No, Radio Man, I was talking about location of your two different antennas, as far as the noise.
Yeah, well, you know, what I call the North Tower, which is what this antenna's on, it's pretty far from my house. Probably a good 120 feet. And then, of course, it's up above the trees. So the IMAX in the tree is actually really close to my house, and it's noisier. So, yeah, I'm sure getting it away from the house probably helped.
How about a Radio Man?
Yes, go ahead, forever's calling for Radio Man.
Radio Man.
What's that? Is it Sting? Sting? Is that what his handle is? Yeah, 10-4. What's going on? Yeah, you got a swiper here. Yeah, you're booming it here in New Auburn. Real good. 10-4 swiper. A long time no hear from. How you been? I'm all right. Roger that. Hey, Rick, 10-4, I'm hanging in there. I think we all pretty much are, aren't we? Yeah. Another day older, damn it. Yeah, you can say that again.
Radio Man.
Yes, go ahead, forever's calling for Radio Man.
Radio Man. Well, here's that guy on the distance. I don't want to step on him. I was going to ask how high your antenna is, the coily's up, and how high is that IMAX up?
Exactly the same height. On the same tower, same coax, same everything.
Crap and all the Civil War talk that they're talking on YouTube. Maybe we should just kill the guy who came up with the idea of golden ears. 50 feet.
Roger on the 50 feet, thank you.
Me too. Happy birthday, 55-year-old. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, old dude.
Radio Man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
About it, Screwdriver.
Happy birthday.
Yes, go ahead.
Copying this thing tonight on this channel, my radio.
Yeah, I hear you good. I don't know if other people are hearing you very well. There's obviously a lot of people keying up, but yeah, you sound good here.
Roger, thanks. Yeah, you're booming over here. Radio Man's booming. I got to put the preamp on to hear those other guys good, but I can hear them. I hear
No, yeah. Yeah, you give me like...
Roger.
I think Screwdriver is talking to somebody I can't even hear.
But with the preamp, I hear everybody blasting.
I can't even get out down the road.
Is this a new channel, Screwdriver, or something that's been in the makings for a while?
Oh, crap, sorry. I was cleaning off my desk. What'd you say?
I was just wondering if this is a new channel with you guys or something that's been for a while and I just haven't stumbled upon it.
We do this one occasionally because of the DX that'll come in on the other one. Obviously, we had a lull the last couple of months, but the last couple of weeks there's been a lot, so we've been coming down here for the sideband nights, off and on. I get a feeling as the cycle progresses, this will be more and more.
It's quiet up there now.
It's a noise, but yeah, quiet down here.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of spinach on my channel. I hate spinach.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it must be quiet on 37 right now, and it's always right about this time when it fades off anyway. So it's like a hit or a miss. You can be like, oh, crap, it's crazy busy, and then fucking 7:30 is completely dead, or it'll be loud as fuck until 8:30. And just having that, 15, 20 minutes while people trying to do check-ins, that it's that busy, people get frustrated.
Roger that.
Who is that? Hello?
Sorry, I was still busy. What would you say?
Who the hell are you talking to?
I always check myself into the nut house.
Always checking into the knot house. As long as you don't have those squirrels or mice or whatever the hell scratching your nuts up on your saddlebags, you're fine.
These nuts.
That's right. These nuts.
You better support them damn low-hangers.
I was actually going to fire up some TikTok, and I totally forgot. I know, right? Just trying to clean off my desk in here. It's a fucking mess, and I got some shit out in the other room that I got to go bring out to the back bay, and this started. I wanted to put the new job off for another week, so I had more time to, prepare like I wanted to. But money's always good.
Now, you better clean up around there. Dress to impress.
Exactly. Well, my back bay that I wanted empty is nowhere near close, and it's a disaster back there. My golf cart ain't going, and my buddy wants to go out. One of his friends from the military is up in the town. We haven't seen in a few years, so he wants to go out for Chinese food tomorrow night after work, and I don't get home till 6. So I'm like, well, I'm probably not going to get the back bay done, but the weather looks amazing, so I'm not worried.
You get a few minutes, I'll have to look at that golf cart.
Oh, it'll be in the bay. It'll be looked at. It's sitting right there.
What is it?
It's a golf cart. I don't fucking know. It's an old easy-go two-stroke golf cart.
They got anything done to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been modified. I mean, there's nothing done as far as the cheap stock two-stroke golf cart side of it. No.
So it didn't have like a single cylinder 125 or a 250, and somebody put like a 440 snow machine engine in it.
Now, I was going to do that at one point, but then you lose reverse and you lose this, and they turn into a pain in the ass. I've had them like that before, and it was cool, but it made it very not user-friendly, and, I had fun on it for a few hours, and then it's like, all right, this thing is fucking too stupid to just be a normal putting-around machine.
Yeah, I had a go-kart that was built out of a golf cart, and it had a fucking 440 on it, and that thing was nuts.
That's right, your golf cart, it spins the motor in reverse for your reverse, huh?
Yeah, that's how it goes back. It's got a big generator on it, and that's what I actually am having issues with right now. I don't even know. Me and my kid took the carburetor off. I fucking ultrasonicked it. I cleaned it, put it back together. I don't have it completely. It's on there. I got to tighten it up. I still got to hook up throttle cables and the air cleaner, but I went to try it, and it wouldn't even spin the motor over because it's got that, alternator. It's a generator / starter. So there's this big switch on the front that reverses the polarity to that to make it spin backwards, and the motor spins backwards. And the two-stroke motor will run in any direction. It doesn't fucking care. And it's just there's something with the electrical. I put in a new battery, which there is no battery tray. It's rotted out, but I'm like, oh, whatever. And it didn't spin, and I almost think it's the key switch right now, and I got a new one. I just haven't had time to touch it.
Yeah, I hear you. That's completely different than the Yamaha that I put that 420 motor in, because that actually had a gearbox for reverse. The motor still spun in the same direction. And so the generator slash starter,
Roger. Yeah, this will go either direction depending on, like I said, it's got this big lever switch in the middle of it. When you turn it, it actually reverses the positive and the negative polarity going to it. And, so it's not awesome, but then the belt, literally, it's got a regular snowmobile type clutch, primary, secondary. It's got a fucking clutch and a belt off the back, and it's got a clutch on the rear end. I mean, it looks like a Chevy 10-bolt rear end, but instead of having a U-joint, it has a fucking clutch, a secondary clutch, and it's a fucking belt that goes straight up to the motor.
Yeah. It's a little similar in a lot of ways, but different, except that, that I had a gearbox for reverse, but I had a secondary prime, and my new one has a gearbox as well. I mean, and it's got a primary and a secondary and regular. Mine does have U-joints. It's just a regular fucking axle like you'd see on anything.
Yeah, this thing is just a regular axle. It's got a differential on it. It looks just like a car axle, but your new one, I am assuming is that 4-stroke?
Yeah, so was my old one. My old one was 4-stroke.
Yeah. And that always made me wonder. This thing's 2-stroke, and the oil injector, I've owned this thing for I don't know how many years. I don't think I've ever put any 2-stroke oil in the injector, and it's still like fucking, halfway full. So I'm like, I don't know if it's getting oil, but it still ran good.
Oh, I thought you had said you would throw in 2-stroke oil in the gas.
No, I know a lot of people that did. I did on another one that I had years and years ago, but this one I've had for a long time, and it actually has the oil injector on it, and I just assumed that it worked because the fucking thing keeps running.
Just like the Polaris Scramblers, oil injected engines.
Yeah, I mean, most newer, and then this isn't newer, that's for sure, but, most everything is oil injected. Even, my old, snowmobile, my old Cheetah 340, I believe was oil injected from the factory, but the fucking oil injection goes bad on them within, the first 3 months. So everybody just pulls them off or blocks it off, and they just fucking start mixing it in with the gas, because it's easier. And it's always going to have the proper amount. That oil injection, it tries to vary it with the carburetor, so the more the carburetor opens, the more it's supposed to inject more oil, and I don't know, I don't think it's very precise.
A lot of times, not so often, but your oil injection pump might pump oil to your fucking crank bearing.
Yeah, it might, I don't know. I'm not a big 2-stroke kind of person. I like 2-strokes. I don't know shit about 2-strokes, I know the theory of operation to a point, with the reeves and fucking this and that, and, the holes in the fucking cylinders and the way, I know very little, but I couldn't sit here and tell you the properties of how it runs and how to make it better. I could with a 4-stroke. I can tell you how to fucking blueprint and balance it and fucking do all these mods and blah, 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 blah. But 2-stroke, I'm like, I don't know. It fucking starts up.
If you ain't 2-stroking, you be joking.
Exactly.
And do all that shit, it's all the same. It's just a crank with a piston on it.
Well, it's funny because I remember my dad bought his new snowmobile, not new, but 20-something years old now, but he bought some new snowmobiles back in 2001 or whatever, and it was MXZ platform. It wasn't an MXZ, it was a touring sled. I forget what the fuck it was, a Skidoo. And that was the first year, and people were amazed. For reverse, it stops the motor and it starts the motor spinning backwards. So that was the reverse on this snowmobile, and now it's pretty common, but it was one of the first sleds to really do it. And people were like, it was funny, you hit reverse and the thing stalls right out. You don't even, it shuts the motor right off and it starts spinning backwards. And people were like, oh my God, that's new technology. And I'm like, I had a fucking, I hate to admit it, but I had a Harley golf cart, like a 1967 Harley golf cart that spun the motor in fucking reverse to make it go reverse. I'm like, I rebuilt a dirt bike once with a buddy of mine, and we fucked something up, and that thing started in reverse. When we kicked it over, we put the kicker spring in the wrong way, whatever, and that thing started running in reverse when we fucking started it too, because we spun it whichever way it spins, it's gonna run.
Golf cart with a three-wheeler?
Yes, it was a fucking three-wheeler one, and like it didn't have a steering wheel. It had this fucking weird like metal loop in the middle of it, so you could sit off to the side and kind of steer, but that thing was sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, the three-wheeler with a tiller. That's what they call that, a tiller.
Those things are fucking awesome, dude.
Holy fuck. I mean, that thing I had on its side more than I had going straight. And it would just skid along. I ended up putting, like, some steel underneath the fiberglass of the body because it was wearing through the body. I'm like, oh, we'll just fucking beef this up a little.
I can see you fucking leaning on its side, too.
I had this fucking, like I said, I had a go-kart. It looked kind of like a sand rail. And it was all built out of golf cart parts. It was fucking crazy.
Like, I got another golf cart here that, well, we used to be in decent shape. It's still not bad. That it needs a rebuild. The golf cart's great. The tires are great. It's a nice, I mean, it's camo colored, but it's a nice golf cart. But the motor, you can fucking grab a hold of the motor and just fucking spin it with like two fingers. It'll go, and it would still run, but you'd have to like give it a bump start. And you'd have to turn it over for a while before it caught. There's like zero compression in it. So I'm like, it just needs to be pulled apart, pour some new rings in it, and fuck, it's been sitting out there for I don't even know, 5 years, 8 years. I don't know how long I've had that damn thing. A long time.
Well, the cool thing about it, the two-stroke is like, if the rings are worn out and the piston starts to scuff the cylinder, it's just a little bit of aluminum. And a lot of times you can just polish that shit right the fuck off, you hold that shit right off, and then clean a little bit up on your piston, and fucking throw some new rings in it, and go right back at it again. Unless it fucking really, because it's just the rings wore out. The cylinder's fine, the nickel cell coating.
I think you can get, I think I looked it up, new piston, rings, and sleeve bore was like $125 or some shit for a complete rebuild kit with gaskets. And I just never, like, I didn't know, I couldn't tell which size motor it was or the serial number because I never took it apart. So I was like, all right, I'm going to order this. I got to take this apart. And fuck if I ever touched that thing.
Well, it's fucking same thing with, I don't know how often they use sleeves and four-strokes because the geometry of the jug because of the porting in a two-stroke versus like a cooling or an air-cooled four-stroke. So I don't know if they use nickel cell so much in that.
Bob, you said earlier that, once you throw a Princess Strat motor or whatever on them, they're no longer user-friendly. And I completely agree with you after doing that 440 or 420 motor to the White's old golf cart. If I had it to do over again, I would have pulled that motor and rebuilt it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it fun. But for one, there's usually issues, because it's never going to be perfect. And like I said, if they didn't have reverse and a gearbox on, but even so, I mean, it's just, if you get too much power in something like that, it's fun. You don't get me wrong. It is fun as shit, and it's sketchy as shit.
but it's not something you're going to want to take your fucking wife on or just go for a cruise around. It's something that you're going to want to do cookies in the parking lot until you flip it over and do something stupid while you're drinking with your friends. It's just not as utilitarian, I guess.
I gotta see that differently. I think it might be beastly and dangerous and hopped up, but you can still ride it around respectably with a wife. And if you want to piss her off, you know, you fucking stomp on it. But we all know better than that. Happy life, happy wife. I think I said that backwards.
Yeah, I've definitely had some shit with too much power in it before. It is, I'm not usually toys like that. I've got a setup saved for a fucking project, and I probably should just sell this thing. It probably isn't even any good anymore. It's been sitting around so long. But I had a project saved for a little shifter car or something weird I was going to do. Or I was actually looking for a Volkswagen Bug that had a decent body and a bad motor, because I was going to put this motor in a Volkswagen Bug. But I'm like, fuck, I have so many projects that I'm like, I'm never going to get around to doing that.
I saw somebody on YouTube, and they had some like little shitbox car, and I don't know if they took the engine out or the engine was bad, but they went and bought the biggest Predator engine they could find, and they made it up to the transmission in the car, and they had a fucking pull start in the dashboard so they could pull start it from inside the car.
I mean, that's awesome. I'd love to get into a car and have a pull start.
I saw like a Volkswagen Rabbit that somebody, I mean, they completely stripped it down. Stripped every ounce of weight they could out of it. And interior, all the insulation, and they put like a 1,000 cc motor from like a Katana, not a Katana, the fuck is it? A Suzuki Rice Rocket motor in it, and that thing, from the videos I saw, it looked like it was hell on wheels.
Like a 600 Jigsaw? GSXR?
Oh, that big fancy one. The big fancy GSXR, I can't remember what they call them.
Hayabusa.
That's it, Hayabusa.
That's a 1,300 cc's.
Yeah, the little Volkswagen Rabbit, they stripped down and took every fucking pound off it they could. A hollow shell, you can see through the floorboards, well, through the engine compartment. You can see the engine from inside the cab. But that thing was crazy.
I see you put them things in just a street bike motor in a smart car. Rear wheel, all in the back. Oh, it's nuts.
That's just it. Like, I hate Volkswagens, and you know, but I'm like, if I could find an old Bug, you know, rear engine, I don't need that piece of shit that's in there, which is like 16 horsepower or something. I'm like, no, rear engine could be bad as long as there's a transmission. Well, I don't even need a transmission. That was going to be the second problem. I was taking the transmission out because I'd blow the transmission up with this motor. So this motor is a 6-speed transmission, but there's no reverse, so. You know, you can rig something up, though. There is a way that you can just use a starter for reverse and have, like, a mechanical lever that engages the whole thing and, you know, almost like an old fucking lawnmower. But, you know, either way, I wanted some stripped-down piece of shit Volkswagen Bug. Just have 2 seats in it, no interior. I even thought about chopping the roof because I've seen a couple with a chopped roof that look badass. And I have a GSXR 1000 motor, fuel-injected, with a fucking polished turbo on it that does almost 300 horse sitting out in my fucking, sitting out in the back bay, just waiting to put in something stupid like that.
Oh, I gotta get in on this. I gotta get in on that Bug.
I mean, I wanted to do something stupid, but then after I didn't have the Volkswagen, I was like, all right, some type of shifter car or something. But that's all I wanted to make the Volkswagen was, just a street legal shifter car. I'm like, how fun would that be? Like, I literally wanted to have just fucking bring up and have a
the clutch on the fucking slap shifter and just put a slap shifter right there. I'm like, how fucking awesome would that be?
Screwdriver.
Yeah.
You gotta look on YouTube. A kid called Blake Wilkie. This is an old video. Built a bug into a full-on sand rail. That thing's got like a 5.3 or a 6-liter fucking supercharged or turbo. It's 600-700 horsepower hanging off the end of that bug, dude. They driving it through the streets and not like a Gymkhana. He got, I don't know, you have to watch it. They shipped it out of the country, had to sell it.
Yeah, but I don't want something like stretched and big and nasty or whatever, you know. I want this to be, you know, just kind of a rat rod or unassuming, or even if it looked completely stock, you know, and it wouldn't even have loud exhaust. Like, at first I wanted it to have that fucking 1000 fucking, you know, IndyCar kind of sound to it with a Yoshi pipe, like my old bike. But I'm like, with the turbo on it, the turbo fucking limits 90% of the sound coming out of the motor. So I'm like, I'd even, you know, like I did say, I want the exhaust coming out the top, but I'm like, no, I just fucking hide it, and the turbo's gonna make it quiet anyway, and fucking just go to town.
I noticed that with my car itself. I mean, it is a little loud, but the turbo, it takes that pulsing, the pulsing sound, the turbo eats it right out of it.
The only sound you get out of most turbo cars is the fucking blow-off valve. And that's just depends on how you have it tuned and what you have for a blow-off valve and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, that's what people with turbos, it's funny, they can't make the vehicle very loud. So, well, they can, but to a point. But they can't make the vehicle loud, so you'll hear the blow-off valves be louder than the vehicle. So instead of the blow-off valve going through some piping into a fucking, you know, like an air box so you don't hear it, they'll fucking run it wide open, and that blow-off valve is louder than the vehicle. And I don't necessarily think that sounds great, but obviously a lot of people do.
My car isn't much. It's an all-stock. Well, it's not all-stock because it has some mods to it. It does have a larger, it's not a big turbo, but it has a larger turbo on it. And it's got 30-inch stainless catless exhaust on it. And it makes turbo noises, but it doesn't go stu-stu-stu-stu. It doesn't fucking do that stupid shit.
Yeah, 3-inch exhaust on it. That sounds very bad.
No, my car sounds good.
I just can't even see the turbo spooling up. Fuck it. I would just think that big of exhaust would actually limit your turbo myself, but that's just me.
Yeah, I have to show you the specs on the turbo. Went from a KO3 to a KO4. It was like 5 millimeters and 12 difference. I can't remember which side it was on.
3-inch exhaust, you're running like a 58 millimeter turbo or a fucking 62 millimeter turbo. That's something that they're running on like a fucking, you know, a 6.7 diesel Duramax or some shit.
42.
Yeah, you don't even...
40 or 42,
on the diesels, fuck, a 5-inch opening that's 8 inches long off the turbo. That's your exhaust pipe.
On your Duramax?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, my original downpipe was only like fucking 1.25 inches.
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make just max horsepower at max RPM, you can do that. If you want to limit your turbo lag and have it spool up faster, you want a properly sized exhaust. I mean, 42 millimeter is not, 3-inch. I would say 3 inches is too big. That's just me and my personal opinion. If you want to make usable power, if you just worry about full open throttle, then yeah, fucking more free flowing is better.
I'm no turbo expert, but I do know that on the diesels there, I mean, the exhaust pipe is, you know, they'll put like, there's barely an exhaust pipe there.
Yeah, I know. Turbo, the faster you can get rid of exhaust, the better.
If you're gonna run a diesel, you gotta have the old little clapper valve there, like the old tractor. Clank, 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 clank. Clank, clank, clank.
Fucking right you do.
I remember being behind a guy on 295. I don't have the picture anymore. He had an exhaust coming up the bed of his truck. You used to see people doing it. You don't really see people doing it. And he was coming up the bed behind the cab. And I swear to God, this friggin' exhaust was the diameter of a 5-gallon pail. And it was just like on a regular old Dodge, 1-ton diesel.
Oh, people will throw, my buddies was like that. They'll throw fucking stacks of, you'll have your regular 3 to 4 inch exhaust, obviously feeding it. And then it's just a fucking big chrome stack of, it'll be like some of them are 10, like you said, they're like a 10-inch diameter, big chrome fucking pipe coming up the back. Get soot on everything.
Then he was buying a new headliner.
Oh man, I think I might have keyed up with you.
Yeah, most of that.
I heard everything you said, Screwdriver.
Rolled some coal. He's got one of them trash can exhaust pipes in the back of his truck. But he had his back window open. He rolled coal with the back window open, and he had to buy himself a new headliner.
Yeah, exactly. I see him ruining a lot, but I don't know. I guess maybe it's just because I'm old school and I'm old. I fucking hate rolling coal. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. I'm like, if you want to load up your engine and make it run like shit so you can blow a bunch of black soot, yeah, I'm like, you're fucking detuning your engine to soot shit up. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me, but, that's what they're into.
Well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, if you watch the dragster, the tractor trailers, drags, they're trying to squeeze every fucking pony out of it they can. And there's a fucking coal going on rolling out of there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going all out, yeah, you're 100% right. But if you watch a top fuel rail car, you have flames coming out the exhaust. That's just because you have unburnt fuel, because you're trying to stuff so much fuel in. I get that. That's for a wide open throttle, fucking a purposely built motor. That I can get. But to do it in your normal truck, I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just an old crickety man. I completely get it. I actually just had to leave a group that I was in, a group chat with a bunch of kids that I've been riding bikes with. But they're all on rice rockets, and they're making this shit loud as fuck. They don't even sound good. They're not even getting performance out of them, but they're like just cutting fucking exhaust pipes off them, brand new R1s, like a fucking $18,000 bike, and they're just cutting the exhaust off because they want it to be loud. And I'm like, I fucking can't deal with these kids. They're all morons.
No, I get it. I mean, and when I first